Okay, welcome to week 8. We are beginning on February 26th, and all of the assignments that we discussed today will be due on March 5th at 11:59 p.m. That's a Sunday. What I have listed first is the academic library tutorial. I typically teach this class face-to-face, and last semester the librarian agreed to create an online tutorial to complement this assignment. So I'll ask that you begin with the library tutorial, and then after you have learned about distinguishing what qualifies as a peer-reviewed article, which is sometimes referred to as a scholarly article, or in some cases academic article, then you can proceed with this assignment. And basically what you're supposed to do is that you are to locate 2 academic peer-reviewed scholarly articles that support the federal government's jurisdiction over the EPA, and 2 articles that oppose the involvement, and making sure that the articles are not older than 10 years old, and it can be on any environmental issue that the EPA governs, such as contamination of water, air pollution, health issues, and so on. Now, I do want to preface this assignment with mentioning that the status of the EPA has been receiving quite a bit of discussion in the media. However, anything that is currently being discussed could not qualify as a peer review or academic article, because typically it takes at least a year for an article to be published once it's submitted as peer reviewed. It has to go through a panel, has to go through several revisions. And although if you want to incorporate some more timely information in with your assignment, that's fine, but what I'm really trying to do here is have you comb your way through a scholarly article. And then once you have obtained your articles, I need for you to go to Critical Reading and Analysis on page 107 and 108 in our text, and conduct a separate analysis for each of the articles. And you can enumerate your responses for each of those. So basically you are looking at 4 articles that you will take through this guide. It's not terribly lengthy. All right. After you have done that, you are going to create an outline. Now let me just tell you where we're heading with this. We are beginning to look at your second essay of the semester, and it is a persuasive essay. You could possibly regard it as a compare-contrast, because you are basically looking at opposing viewpoints. And here's just an overview of what you're going to be asked to do. You are going to create a persuasive essay using those 4 articles, and you need to take a position on which one you believe is the more relevant or the more convincing argument. And it will be 3 pages. It will not use any first person, I, we, us, and you will need to use quotes or paraphrase to defend your position. Now, some of you had some real problems with your last research essay. A major problem was that you used no in-text citations. Simply adding a reference page to the end of an essay does not make it a research essay. Technically, it's plagiarism because you haven't cited any of your sources. So it's extremely critical that you go over the information that I provided in the past and that I have provided again this week to make sure that you have a very clear understanding of what an academic essay is. I know sometimes in high school they'll say, well, I'm going to take off 10 points because you didn't cite your sources. That is a very serious offense in college. So please obey and abide by all of the APA requirements. You must have a reference page to this 3-page, not 2.5, not 2, 3 pages of text. And although it's in APA format, I am not requiring a title page at this point, nor am I requiring an abstract. Now, this is not due until March 12th. That's the day before you go on break. However, you are going to have an outline due this Sunday on your topic. Now, the other thing I want to mention is that you could, if you would like, use the same topic that you will be using for your third and final essay. And so if you, for example, have a real interest in water contamination, or if you have a real interest in climate change, then you can use any of the information you collect for this essay. We'll be adding more. Okay, now, I have provided here a formal template for you to use in creating your outline. All right, and it is right here. I have put little side notes in to help you make your way through this. This is a formal outline. As you can see, you must have a thesis statement in your outline. Now, that thesis statement must at least imply what your position is on the issue, all right, without saying I. And then you take 3 topics. For example, you might want to look at the economic constraints that the EPA puts on manufacturers, right? There are those who possibly are in favor of those added economic restraints in an effort to keep the environment clean. And so here you would possibly put those who are in favor of it. And these 1 and 2 are actual examples that you're going to be getting from those articles. Those support your position. Now, B would be the counterpoint. Now, you can do these in any order if you feel it's best to put the counterpoint first, which in many cases it is, because why would you give your argument and then give the opposing viewpoint? So you have to have basically a conversation between the 2 sides. And you can put them in any order. But the point of a formal outline is that it has total balance. So whatever you do for this particular point, you're going to come down here and you're going to do it for this point. You're going to have both sides. You're going to have excerpts or paraphrasing, and then you're going to do it here as well. All right? So please follow this. In fact, you can download it and type directly on it and upload it. Now, I've also given you, again, using Purdue OWL, additional information about outlines. So if you want additional information, that's fine. Also note that you do not have to write in complete sentences when you create your outline, with the exception of your thesis statement. Okay. I did provide you with a sample outline, but it's not perfect, but it is a student sample, so it may be of help to you. You also have making supporting claims, and this is what you need to be reading in your textbook. I've given you more information on APA format. In fact, I have a very short but impactful video that addresses that issue. Remember, if you do not have in-text citation, you cannot have a research paper. Up here, I provided you with information about APA formatting very early on. I believe it was week 4. APA guidelines, APA format information. Please make sure that you review that as well. Okay, I have provided here feedback from your essays. Now, each one of you got extensive feedback from me. Remember, if you want to ever see any of the commentary that I provide, simply go to the grade that you received on the assignment, click on that. It will take you back to your Dropbox, and you can see all of my feedback. All right, that once again, the Grammarly report had nothing to do with your grade, other than it did point out some of the issues. Now, Grammarly is a computerized program, and I would say that 85 to 90% of the time it is very spot on. But, for example, if it tells you that your name is spelled incorrectly, then of course you would ignore that because you know how to spell your name. But aside from little incidentals such as that, it is very reliable. All right, now, you are going to have to revise your essay. And you have until the 12th to revise your first essay. But if you want to get to work on that now, you may do that. What you will do is you'll first of all look at this feedback, general feedback for everybody, so it tells you things that you do and do not do in formal writing. Use the feedback you got from me, and then use the feedback from Grammarly. And you are going to then revise your original essay. Now, when you upload it here, because I need to be able to take a look at it, I need for you to upload a second essay in which you highlight all of the changes that you made. So basically, take the first one and then go through it and highlight everything that you changed, so it makes it easier for me to grade it. This will help your score. If you do not do it, you're going to get a 0. And if you do not follow instructions, you're going to not do very well on it. Now, the outline, I will try to get back to you. If you submit it this week, I'll get it back to you because I know some of you like to work a little bit ahead. And as you know, on the 12th, we'll be going into break. So, and I don't want you working over your break. So as long as I have both of these essays, then I can do my grading while you're away. Okay, so it looks probably like it's more than it is. Basically, what you have this week are 2 assignments that are graded, and then a lot of supplemental information for doing those assignments or for working on your revision and for helping you to avoid making the same mistakes in your second essay. All right, if you have any questions for me, please let me know. Have a great week.